Hello, dear friends, with you Nayu. Today, I want to introduce you to a very interesting mod. It is called the Sword Hand, which can be translated as the hand of a magician or the hand of a magician, if you really Russify the translation. The mod is generally still new, created in February 2022 year, and is available for the Minecraft version 1.18.1. But here's the attention, guys. This mod is made for factories, and, unfortunately, it is not for Forge, at least not yet. Please pay attention to this, so that they don't write later why this mod doesn't start for me. In addition, note that for the normal operation of the Miracle Hand mod, you also need to install 3 additional mods: Factory, and Pi, Hecklip, and Skylip. As always, I will leave links to all these mods in the description under the video. And for those who do not know how to install mods for factories, I recorded a separate video. I highly recommend watching it. Click on the link in the upper right corner, and you will find out everything. Well, we will analyze the fashion of the Mage Hand. So, this mod allows you to craft yourself little assistants in the form of these wonderful flying magic hands. There are 5 types of magic hands in total: copper, iron, gold, diamond, and amethyst. Each of them is able to do their own kind of work, but more on that later. First, let's figure out how you can get yourself these handy assistants. To begin with, you need to go to Nether, because only in this dimension will the restless magical hands be filled. They have this kind of reddish translucent texture and wander through hell, not finding peace for themselves. But be careful, because these hands, although they do not have a very large reserve of health, only 5 hearts, but they behave very aggressively. As soon as they notice you, they will immediately rush to attack. The Cursed Hand deals 2.5 hearts of damage. After death, such hands drop magical essence, but the chance of such a drop is small, so I advise you to enchant your weapons for prey. After we have collected a sufficient amount of essence, we return home and start crafting hand assistants for ourselves. Crafting magic hands is multi-step. First, you need to get a bone arm. To do this, we cover the magic essence with 6 bones like this. After that, the resulting bone arm is completely wrapped in rotten flesh, and we get a hand made of flesh. But that's not all. To obtain a magic hand, you need to overlay a flesh hand with one of 5 types of materials. Each material gives the hand special properties. Thus, lining with copper ingots, we will get a copper magic hand. Lining with iron ingots, we will create an iron hand. By enclosing a rotten hand in a golden shell, we get a golden magic hand. By surrounding the rotten hand with diamonds, we will get a diamond magic hand. And finally, by overlaying a hand made of rotten flesh with amethysts, we will get a magical hand made of amethyst. And now these hands can be installed in the world by clicking on the block with the right mouse button. If you don't need any of the installed hands anymore, or you want to move it to another place, then just hit it with the left mouse button, and it will fall out into the world as an object. Don't be afraid, she won't get any damage. Now let's take a closer look at what different types of magic hands are capable of, and let's start with the copper one. Crafting a copper hand is the cheapest, which means that it will have a simple functionality. In fact, the copper hand will perform the work of a certain loader or courier. By placing such a hand next to the chest, it will put any items into this chest. But keep in mind that she will only collect items within a radius of 16 blocks. You can come up with a lot of applications for such functionality, especially if you install this mod on some kind of techno-magical assembly. Unlike all other magical hands, which have 5 hearts of life, which means 10 health units, the iron hand has 50 health units. That is, it is the strongest. And all because the iron hand is called to perform military service. Simply put, it will protect the territory from evil mobs. As soon as you set your hand to the piece of iron, it will begin to carry out guard duty. And if any evil mob appears within a radius of 16 blocks from her, she will attack him and beat him until she destroys him. At the sight of the enemy, the hand will clench into a fist and fly closer to beat the enemy, removing about 8 hearts of life for each blow. That is, with 1 or 2 blows, she will be able to kill any not too strong mob. The mobs themselves are not the first to attack the magic hand, but after it hits them, they will also hit it back. Unfortunately, the damaged hand cannot be treated in any way, but I noticed such a chip. If you take the hand in the inventory and then put it back in the world, it will again be intact. I don't know if this is what the developer intended, but at least at the moment, it is the only effective way to treat hands. In any case, after the hand runs out of health, it will fall out into the world as an object. So if you have time to pick it up in time, well, so that it does not disappear, then you can use it again. In order for the hand to beat the monsters more effectively, and they did not have time to damage it, I advise you to give her some kind of sword. To do this, right-click on the hand while holding the sword in your hand. Now the magic iron hand will deal much more damage to its enemies. We are returning from military affairs to rural life because the golden hand of the magician is designed for this. In order for it to work, it must be tied to the chest in which the seeds lie. To do this, take your hand and right-click on the chest in the squat. She herself will grab the seeds from the chest and will fly over the beds and sow them. When the harvest is ripe, the golden hand will begin to collect it. Well, that is how to collect. She will knock him down and throw him there. But in order to harvest the chests, you will have to put a copper hand next to the field. Here, she will meekly pick up the crop thrown on the ground and take it to the chest. This way, you can set up automatic sowing and harvesting. But the diamond hand, in my opinion, is one of the most useful hands in this fashion, since it can be used in mining. No, unfortunately, she herself will not extract anything, but she is able to point in the direction of one or another or deposit. Now I'm going to demonstrate how it works, and in order to be clearly visible, I will not go down into the mine, but I will show it on flat terrain. Believe me, it will work the same way underground. Here, I have placed several types of ore in a circle, and I will put my hand in the center. But as you can see, the hand does not want to do anything. That's because we didn't give her a task. What kind of ore should she look for? To do this, holding the diamond magic hand in your hand, sit down and click the right mouse button. At the same time, the search modes for different ores will change. Coal, iron, copper, gold, redstone, emerald, lapis lazuli, and diamond. Selecting one of these search modes, for example a diamond, we put our hand on the ground and immediately see that the hand turned towards the diamond ore and points at it with a finger. Thus, it is quite convenient to look for some rare ores. But keep in mind that the radius in which the hand will search for ores is 16 blocks. Well, the last magic hand in this fashion is Amethyst. Such a hand can be used, for example, as an item sorter, since the Amethyst hand is capable of working in 2 modes. Putting it next to the chest, you can click on it with some object, for example an emerald, and it will appear above it, in the form of a small icon. Now the hand will collect only emeralds from the ground and put them in a chest, while ignoring all other items. If you click on your hand again with the right mouse button, while holding the emerald in your hand, then you will switch the operating mode again, and a red icon with a crossed-out emerald will appear above it. This will mean that the hand will now collect any items, except for emeralds. If you sit down and click on the hand with the right mouse button with an empty hand, the icon will disappear, and the amethyst hand will stop working. In this way, you can set up an amethyst hand to collect any objects you want. For example, it is very convenient to put such a hand in a chicken coop, and it will collect chicken eggs every morning and put them in a chest. So you will no longer need to create some complex egg collection farms consisting of many funnels, transporters, and the devil knows what else. By the way, magic hands can be given special skins. They are made in honor of those people who supported the developer. Therefore, to get such a custom skin, you need to name the hand in the anvil with the nickname of one of the developer's cartridges. And now I'm going to show you all these nicknames and what skins they will give to your magic little hand. So I told you about all the functions in this little mod. In my opinion, it can be very useful in some kind of assembly. It's a pity, of course, that the mod is only available for the factories of the Minecraft version. Hopefully, in the future, the developer will still rework this mod for the Fortune version. Well, I'm waiting for your comments on this. I will be very interested to know if you are playing with mods for the factories version or only for Forge. And also if you like this mod on the Wizard's LAN. And if you liked it, then maybe you managed to come up with a particularly original application for different types of hands. Be sure to share your experience in the comments. It will be very interesting to read what you have occupied your magical hands with. Well, with that, I'm saying goodbye to you.